here we are again. So my dumbass completely forgot to press record. So I've actually filmed this whole thing and now man's talking about it again. Man's stupid because I didn't press play. We're gonna try and keep this concise and we're gonna try and keep this short. But we're gonna touch on all the same things that I was talking about first time round in the freshers episode. So education. As you may be aware, because you watched the first one, and if you didn't, go and come back. So if you didn't, I failed my first year at university because I got like 23 out of 100 in my very first assignment, and then I messed up somewhere else in the same module, and then I failed physiology. Fine. So in my second year, what I did was I spent the first half of the year doing half of one module. I spent the second half of the year doing half of that same module and physiology. So I wasn't really in class much. I was in class like maybe 1 or 2 hours here, maybe 4 hours there. But because I had so much free time and I enjoyed Spanish as a language, I decided to start a beginner Spanish course, which took place every Tuesday during Champions League time, when I should have been watching Real Madrid and Barcelona and Arsenal. Arsenal! You know what I'm saying? So, hola, ¿qué tal estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú? I only know the basics because you don't get to practice Spanish in an English country when everyone speaks English and everyone in class is English. So the only time I got to practice was in Spanish class, and I forgot the majority of it, which is a bit frustrating. I'm out of practice. So there isn't really much to talk about in regards to that year and education. I passed, went into third year, passed comfortably. It's exactly the same content. So you can't follow the same content twice, right? Right? So obviously, if you missed it, back, I'm a basketball player. And I quit in my first year because I was bored. I went to rowing. When I fell into the lake, I quit and came back to basketball in my second year, in which case I played the full extensive part of the year. But the problem with the basketball team was we just wasn't good enough as a team. Individually, good player, but it just didn't work together. So we got like relegated again, and then we took some L's. But my problem was, if we're so good individually, why can't we work as a team? And I thought the problem was, come to practice, people are bantering. Come to games, we're not functioning well when people are blaming him and her and him and him and him and him and the ref and the floor and the basketball and the sky and the blue water. Everything was being blamed apart from everybody else, apart from themselves. So I didn't feel that people were taking accountability for our issues. But I mean, that's just how I saw it. You know, we had good players, we sucked as a team. That's just facts. And I'm young smoke. I'm used to not losing so many games because I handle smoke, give out smoke, workflow smoke. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it was fun, you know, team nights out. Team nights out. I remember there was that one time George and Oscar decided to turn my living room upside down when I went to the shop with Juwan. Nonsense. But overall, I mean, in terms of like the type of year you have your varsity, you have your league games, we had a couple cup games. We went all the way to Wales, we were down 20, and we came back and won that game. That was a lit game. Overtime. And obviously young smoke handled smoke, as per usual. Money. This year I actually had too much money, but when you're young and dumb and don't know how to manage money, money goes away. So what happened was, I had my student loan, I had my grant, I had my 2-bag overdraft that I decided to extend to because I thought it was a good idea, and now I'm paying it back. And we're gonna tie this in with the gambling, because with the gambling, I had a really good bet and great idea, which I imagine gamblers already know about, called section betting, where I'm not telling you what that is because I ain't endorsing gambling. But basically, off section betting, I won basically $1,000 in the space of 2 weeks. So with that, rather than saving $1,000, I spent £70 on something that we're going to talk about after. I spent Arsenal shirt. I paid, to be fair, I did pay like a month's rent in advance and something else, which was smart, I guess. So that bag went quite quick, to be fair. But you know, when you're young, you see a lot of money for the first time in your life. What do? You blow it. But now I'm older, and I don't think that would be how things will be playing out. You know. don't increase your overdraft, get a job. Oh, speaking of jobs, I was working for a company called Taking Lives, where basically I was handing out flyers. What did I actually do for that job? All I know is that I got paid enough to keep me afloat on a weekly. So yeah, man, find yourself a little, paper round job. Get your pedal bike, handle out the newspapers like it's 1995. Accommodation. So like I said in round one, you need to be selective about who you live with. I met people I met in my first year. I ended up living with them, plus one of my housemates, plus one of their friends on one of their courses. 3 of them were problems, car. Like, I'm the type of person who can't function when things aren't in order. Like, I'm not OCD, but I'm very particular. So imagine coming to a kitchen, this one is there, this one is there, that one is there, this one isn't washed, cloth is there, this one's on the floor, bins full. I had to deal with that initially. So as opposed to talking to people about it, because I was not used to people living like tramps, sorry guys, what I did the first time around was I labelled everything that needed to be doing. Wrong way to go about it. I labelled everything that needs to be done because it was the stuff that I was doing cash, and then I put all their plates, all the things in front of the front door, so when they walk in, they can walk in and see what's. And the thing is, yeah, you could even say it was half the plates, half the cutlery, because there was a lot of things there. They got it washed, but it didn't solve the problem. People like that just aren't ready. They're just not ready, and you have to give people like that time to be ready. So if you're ready and based on what you saw in their first life, they're not ready, trust me, don't live with them, because it's just going to ruin relationships like it did with me. I've been doing this stuff from young, innit? I guess it's just I'm not saying it's just in African culture, but it's just what it is. And I'm just used to being told to do stuff like go and wash the plate, take the shoe upstairs, go and do the washing. All of that stuff is cash. Like, I've been doing it, so it's nothing to me. Whereas other people are acting like it's not a 5-10 minute job, but sitting and watching Love Island is a whole hour. They'll be drinking the orange juice and watching Geordie show. That's not me, you know what I'm saying? So be careful about who you live with. Even now. That's another story anyway. Before uni, drugs and alcohol wasn't a thing. However, coming into my second year of university, all that changed. Well, at least alcohol changed in my first year, but the drugs and the partying. So I met this girl called Mary, second name Jane, in my second year of uni, and we had a really good relationship. She used to keep me sane during the tough times, and we used to talk a lot, me and Mary. And then that was kind of like a gateway in a way, because they say stuff like that is gateway. For me, it was a gateway to try other things. Where I'm from, typically, if it doesn't go in your mouth and blow out the other way, we're not involved more time. So a couple times when I was working for that Taking Libs, I went out with a few of the guys. In fact, it was the very first time I went out with them and they got me to try this pill. I ain't saying no names, but they got me to try this pill, and I had one of the best nights of my life to this day. And I've had some good times, but that one's definitely up there. Man was talking to everyone, man was copping a few skanks here. I swear, man was still ready to dance at 3 p.m. the next day. I was enjoying myself. Don't do drugs here, but I was enjoying myself. So I then tried it with one of the guys I was living with, but we did this thing called a bomb. I'm telling you what that is. But we tried a bomb, and that was cool. Man pings, but it wasn't the same as the pill. But your preference is your preference, innit? I don't do them things no more, because that stuff ain't right. You shouldn't need to ingest something to have fun. That tells me that you and your friends don't have fun the right way. Yeah. I completely forgot I need to tell you a story. So, one of my guys introduced me to a thing called White Widow. It's a legal high. You can smoke it, you can bong it, do what you want. And we tried it one time, and don't do drugs, kids. This thing messed me up. So imagine sitting in a box room, and the room just starts getting smaller and the room just started spinning. I swear, like, I couldn't breathe, but I couldn't die. I was just sitting there leaning. And I couldn't breathe and I couldn't die. So eventually I caught myself, fell to the floor, crawled to the toilet, and man just puked everywhere. Like, it was a myth. Like, don't do anything. Don't do drugs. I'm gonna keep reinforcing it. No to drugs. Say no to drugs. But I tried it. You can try it if you want, but I'm not an advocate and I'm not advising. Relationships. So, like I said at the end of the last video, I met Bay in October of 2013, and we kind of had a open-closed relationship, should I call it, and we used to hang out together, we used to do things, we used to go out to eat. I guess it was low-key a relationship that I wasn't really ready for, but I was ready for it when it stopped. What happened was, we had a basketball game towards the end of March, and me and her hadn't been talking for about a week, but she kicked me out of her yard for, I can't remember why, but she kicked me out of her yard. The man was pissed. So instead of being a man and chatting to her about it, I went out with the team. I saw a girl whilst I was drunk. All I saw was Big Bum, and basically shit hit the fan. I was wearing my girl's hairbands. I looked at it and I was like, I can't do this. But I still did it. And then I got into the taxi, I was like, nah, I can't do this. And I still went. And I got to the girl's yard and looked at the girls with my wrist again. I was like, I can't do this. But I still did it. And then I snitched on myself a week later, and that was the end of that. Some people call it snitching. I tried to call it being honest. But now I definitely call it snitching on yourself. I didn't learn not to do what I did, because that was common sense. I ain't gonna tell you what I learned because you'll probably disagree. But either way, shit hit the fan, we over it. She's somewhere in London, enjoying life, and I'm here, innit? It's what it is, you live and you learn. I was pissed because I was gonna take her to Barcelona that summer. I really wanted to anyway. But shit hit the fan. And then she went with somebody else. I was really sad about that. But you know, live, you learn, don't make mistakes, don't do anything that's gonna make you regret what you did. No to cheating, no to drugs, no to alcohol, and no to gambling. That's it, folks. See you next time.